Hello everyone, welcome back to RareChem Official. Today we are going to discuss about chemical bonding. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Without delay, let's get started. Introduction about chemical bonding. Atoms are generally not capable of free existence, but group of atoms of the same or different elements as one species. See, group of atoms means suppose H and H, if combining together it forms H2 molecule, right? Molecules is made up of atoms. Okay, if same atoms are different elements, or same atoms, it combining together it forms a molecule. Why atoms are forming molecules? Why they are not be in atoms as it is? Because atoms has higher energy, lower stability, so every atom wants to stabilize. So atoms combining together or different atoms combining, it forming molecules. So it is stabilizing, going to stabilize. Whenever it forms molecules, it has more stability than individual atoms, so it forming molecule. Forming molecule. Let's look definition of chemical bonding. The attraction force which holds various constituents, atoms or ions together in different chemical species. Okay, different atoms. Attraction force between these two atoms together, it forms molecule. Or state of equilibrium between two atoms where the force of attraction is equals to force of repulsion is known as chemical bonding. If take two atoms, suppose this is first atom, this is second atom. Okay, see, attraction between first atom nucleus and second atom electron. And attraction between second atom nucleus and first atom's electron. Okay, next, repulsions. See, repulsion between first atom nucleus and second atom nucleus. And second, repulsion between first atom electron and second atom electron. See, if observe, attraction between first atom nucleus and second atom electron. Second one, attraction between second atom nucleus and first atom electron. See, these two is equals to these two, means here we said that the state of equilibrium between two atoms where the force of attraction is equals to force of repulsion. See, if force of attraction is equals to force of repulsion, it is called as chemical bonding. Chemical bonding, explaining different Lewis symbols, octet rule, because every atoms wants to octet, means it wants to stabilize itself, so it forming molecules. If observe Lewis symbols or Lewis Lewis dot symbols for molecules if observed. To represent the Lewis symbols of particular element, valence electron is represented as a dot. Okay, hydrogen has one electron, so it represented as one electron. Helium has two electrons, it represented as 2. Like that we are writing. Now octet rule. Tendency of atoms to achieve 8 electrons in their outermost shell is known as octet rule. Okay, means tendency of atoms to achieve 8 electrons. Suppose chlorine atom outermost 3s to 3p5. If suppose if see 3s to 3p5, outer shell electrons is 7. If gain 1 electron, it achieve noble gas configuration, means it gains 1 electrons, it stabilize itself. See now 3s to 3p6, 8 electrons. This is called octet rule. Exceptions of octet rule: electron deficient molecules, those molecules having less than 8 electrons. If take one example, BeCl2. Beryllium has 2 electrons in outermost shell. Chlorine in outermost shell has 7 electrons. Okay, if it is represented as like this: chlorine 2 3 4 5 6 7, Lewis dot symbols. Okay, beryllium 2 electrons in outer shell, so it represented as like this, and chlorine has 7, it is represented as the like this. Okay, see if chlorine wants to 1 electron to gain noble gas configuration, if attracts these electrons towards chlorine, it gains noble gas configuration. If attracts these electrons towards chlorine, it gains noble gas configuration. See, 8 electron is okay, means 8 electrons is present in outermost shell. It has noble gas configuration, means it is stable now. See, beryllium has how many electrons now? Beryllium 1 2 3 4, 4 electrons, but central atom has how many electrons? 4 electrons, so it is deficient electrons, deficient molecules. Okay, chlorine has 8 electrons. Here chlorine has 8 electrons. These two chlorines has 8 electrons, it attains stability. But because beryllium it has 4 electrons, so it is called as electron deficient molecules. Let's take one more example. AlCl3. AlCl3, see, boron family. Aluminum is boron family, boron aluminum. It belongs to 13 group family. It has 3 electrons in outermost shell, so it represented as 3 electrons. Chlorine has 7 electrons in outermost shell. If represented as, it is represented as Lewis dot structures. See, if this electron is attracts towards chlorine, it attains the noble gas configuration. Aluminium has how many electrons now? 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 electrons has present in the aluminum. So how many electrons is less to noble gas configuration? 2 electrons. So it is called as electron deficient molecule. Odd electron molecules. If take one example, NO2. Okay, if count total number of electrons in the molecule, nitrogen has 5 electrons in outermost shell, oxygen 6 electrons in outermost shell, 6 into 2 equals to 12, 12 plus 5 equals to 7. If we get odd number, that is equals to odd electron molecules. Okay, if take Lewis dot symbol, see, oxygen has 6 electrons before. If sharing electrons See, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now oxygen has 8 electrons. It stabilized. This oxygen has also 8 electrons. Now how many electrons has present in nitrogen? 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. See, this central atom has 5 electrons. Okay. Now electron efficient molecules. Molecules having more than 8 electrons, like PCl5, SF6 and etc. If take one example, phosphorus. Nitrogen has phosphorus is also belongs to nitrogen family. See, phosphorus has how many electrons in outermost shell? 5 electrons, and chlorine has 7 electrons. If sharing electrons towards if attraction, this electron attraction towards the chlorine, it gains stability. Each chlorine has now 8 electrons. Chlorines now stabilized. Phosphorus has how many electrons now? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. It has more than 8 electrons. Now it is electron efficient molecule. Sulfur, SF6, oxygen sulfur, it is belongs to oxygen family, means 16th group. 1 2 3 4 5 6 electrons present in the outermost shell for sulfur. Fluorine 7 electrons. Okay. Now fluorine has 8 electrons. Each fluorine has 8 electrons, but sulfur has how many electrons? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. 12 electrons in the 12 electrons present in the sulfur. Now it is called as electron efficient molecule. Chemical bonds. Chemical bonds divided into two types: strong bond and weak bond. It is called as interatomic. Weak bond is intermolecular. Okay. Strong bond is again divided into four types: ionic bond, covalent bond, coordinate bond, metallic bond. First, let's look ionic bond or electrovalent bond. Here, what is ionic bond? Complete transfer of electrons from one atom to another atom. If take H2 to attain the nearest gas configuration, NaCl, magnesium, NaCl, if take the atomic number for sodium is 11. The outer shell, the electronic configuration for sodium is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. One electron is present in the outermost shell. Chlorine has 7 electrons present in the outermost shell. See, sodium, if it donate 1 electron to chlorine, it gains noble gas configuration. It is a donor, it is acceptor. Magnesium Cl2, MgCl2, atomic number for magnesium is 12. Configuration for magnesium is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s2. Magnesium has 2 electrons. If donates 2 electrons to 2 chlorines, it gains noble gas configuration. It forms ionic bond. For forming ionic bond, one should be metal, another atom should be non-metal. Okay. Covalent bond. Covalent linkage is, and the number of electrons contributed by each atom is known as covalency. CO2, CCl4, NCl3, etc. When two non-metals approaching together, it forms covalent bond. If take one example, O2, oxygen has a 6 electrons in the outermost shell. See, if Lewis dot Lewis symbol for oxygen. 6 electrons has present. Each another oxygen atom. If sharing of electrons, if these electrons attracts towards this oxygen, it gains a noble gas configuration. These electrons attracts towards this oxygen, it gains noble gas configuration. Both gets sharing of electrons by covalent bond. It is called as covalent bond. Okay. H2O. Oxygen has 6 electrons, hydrogen has 1 electron. First hydrogen forming bond with oxygen, then like this, these two electrons, this now it has duplet structure. Oxygen is now 8 electrons, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It both atoms gains noble gas configuration. No, both atoms has both atoms gain stability. Coordinate bond. It is formed when shared pair of electrons comes only from one atom. There is no mutual sharing of electrons. Okay. See, NH3 plus BH3 is equals to NH3 is this is named as, this array is named as coordinate bond is BF3. Nitrogen has lone pairs. If these electrons donate to HCl, it forms coordinate bond. Dative bond means dipolar bond. Metallic bond, electrostatic force of attraction between conduction electrons and positively charged metal ions like sodium plus and copper plus. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.